Okay. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. As I am all by myself, I don't have a camera guy, I don't have a Zoom guy. So good morning. Let me know if something's wrong with YouTube. I can't even see if the YouTube goes off or not. So if somebody could monitor YouTube, would be great. If somebody calls me up in the middle, it might be devastating. Today, usually we start off with emails. There's Simcha, start off with a Milsa de B'dichusa. Today it's a little somber. We have, Corona. And I don't know if you could see, but we have 3 sponsors today. Today's share is being sponsored. Lili Nishmas Rivka Chaya Bat Chava Viruvain. He says he's Sephardi and they use the father and mother's name. Lili Nishmas Michal Tzvi ben Menachem Zeichet Tzadik Levracha, or Michal Tzvi ben Menachem Zeichet Tzadik Levracha. I'll explain all of these. And today's share is sponsored by our friend Avi Mandelbaum for the refuah of Mordechai Yehuda ben Pnina Priva. What's going on? I'll explain. First email comes from Los Angeles. Dear Aveli, this is like another tearjerker, at least when I read it initially. Your shiurim are incredible. I love the way you bring life to each and every daf. I subscribed to the 8-minute daf on WhatsApp after seeing the link to it while I was watching the Siyum Hashas on January 1st, 2020. When I got married in 2015, I thought to myself that I would start the daf when the next cycle started. Now, first of all, B'Sograyim, when you have an inspiration to learn the daf, you start that day. You don't push it off 3 years. But he pushed it off for 3 years and he started, and I'm very happy he did. But for other people, the Atzes HaYetzer will start tomorrow, we'll start the next Masechta, we'll get together by Erev. No. If we would have done that, we wouldn't be here today. We started in the middle of Avodah Zarah, Daf Chav Ches, in the middle of a Sugya. You start right then and there. Weiter. When I got married in 2015, I thought to myself, yeah, and your 8-minute WhatsApp videos have really gave me the courage to start the Daf Yomi with the rest of Klal Yisrael when we started Brachas. I was adopted and converted by a Sephardic family from Flatbush and wasn't really raised religious. I switched high schools in 10th grade, and the new Minahal was Rabbi David Katzenstein from Muncie. He's a Chaim Berlin guy, maybe you know him. Not really. I started to really have an interest in learning and keeping Torah mitzvahs. After high school, I went to Israel and started to experiment with drugs and alcohol. After many trips to rehab and going way, way off the derech, I came to Los Angeles where I live now. And Baruch Hashem, I've been sober for 9 years now. Way to go, Harry. We're with you. By the way, maybe you could get in touch with Yaakov. I'm not kidding. Yaakov on top over there, it says Yaakov Ramat Bet Shemesh. He's very good. He also does a lot of Zoom stuff with this stuff. When I met my wife, I wasn't religious at all, and now Baruch Hashem, we got married and had our second child before Rosh Hashanah. Mazel Tov. Now here comes the part. My sister was nifter on Shabbos, and I'm sitting Shiva alone in Los Angeles with my wife and our kids in my apartment. I had to watch a Kvura via FaceTime with my sister in New York, and my mom is also sitting alone in Brooklyn. His dad was nifter 20 years ago. Your shiurim are the one constant thing that give me chizuk and encouragement in these crazy times. I'd like to sponsor the shir. Her name is Rivka Chaya Bat Chava. There's not even a shul open for me to say Kaddish. But Baruch Hashem, I'm learning Mishnayos. The Corona drasha you posted on Thursday night to the app was incredible. I wish I knew who was speaking. I still didn't figure it out exactly. Somebody said this name, that name. But everything he was saying was so true and inspiring. I wish all of us could wake up and see what's going on in this world. The messages that Hashem is sending us. We need to do something about it ASAP. In any case, I forgot to get myself water, and Noam is not here, so I'll go thirsty. In any case, really, thank you so much for your shiurim and inspiration. I look forward to it daily. I'll try to catch the shir on Zoom tomorrow night, Bezer Hashem. Harry from Los Angeles. So, I don't know if he's on or not on, but Gary, maybe you could unmute it. He's on. Harry. You have 102 friends right now with you on Zoom and many, many more on YouTube and Torah Anytime. And together we want to say to you, Hamokoim Yenachem Eschem Besoich Shar Aveli Tzim Yerushalayim V'leisasifu L'Dav Ha'oid. Kadosh Baruch Hu should give you nechama. What's that? Okay. Next. Okay, you can mute it now. The next email, another not so fun email. Good evening, Rabbi Stefansky. My emails are normally, with one glaring exception, jovial. Oh, he's talking about the one he knocked me out of the park when he thought that we had more than 10 people in the room. And I think fun. This one is not, and I'm sorry. I have a great aunt and uncle who made Aliyah back in the 70s. My great uncle was a professor of philosophy at Hebrew University for years. He also learns and gives shiurim constantly. He's a Talmud Chacham. Since retiring, he's done nothing but learn Torah and be a guest lecturer all over the world, always making Kiddush Hashem. Now I find out he spiked a high fever on Shabbos and is in the hospital in the Corona ward in Yerushalayim. And his fever has done nothing but go up for the past 2 days. If you could send to me, I also don't know, but if you could please learn in his schos, and he's sponsoring today's shir, l'schos refuas Mordechai Yehuda ben Penina Priva Steiner. He should have a tremendous refuah shalema. And one more, sorry Rabbi Isai, one more. Yesterday, just hours after a 39-year-old young man from Lakewood, New Jersey was nifter, leaving over 9 Yisayimim from Corona. Somebody, I'm not sure who, contacted Yosef Bilyak and sponsored the shir. His name is Michal Fetman. You could see on online, there are a lot of, they're talking about him. Here's a picture of what he looks like, a young guy from Lakewood. He wrote Erev Shabbos. To all my neighbors, let us please be Kabul Shabbos b'simcha rabba. Let's show each other and our children that we believe Hashem does everything that happens in this world for good reason and for our benefit, even if we don't understand. This is what he writes. And a couple of days later, he's nifter. Please let us all come onto the porches and sing Kabbalah Shabbos like never before. He was a younger man who organized many shiurim in Lakewood, and that's why I guess they decided to sponsor this shir in his honor. We should have known more tzaras. What else? So now, for the fun part, once we get into learning, it's all fun and games. Okay, sorry. This gives me nachas. The factor boys learning the daf. This tzaddik right over here, the 8-year-old, gave us a speech from Masechtas Brachos by the Siyum. Gives respect to his brothers, sitting second in line to the computer, looking inside the Gemara like he always does. It's an amazing, unbelievable 8-year-old. And here's another picture from Meir Sandberg, who's my son's friend. He writes, I don't know who he is. I don't really know what he looks like from this picture. But anyways, here he is. Gives me tremendous nachas to see that his kid is in a high chair eating a banana and ice cream, and he's steiging away with his headphones, doesn't know that his kid is even there. Yishkoyach, Rabbi Sandberg. The rest we'll have to do tomorrow. Let's learn some Torah, l'schos and l'ilui neshama for these special individuals. We were learning in the Mishnah Daf Chavdal on Beis. Ein madlikim Hashem and streifa b'yontiv. You cannot use oil that is Truma, that is tummy. Why? Because the Gemara says you cannot burn tummy oil on Yontif. Hold on 1 second, let me just fix this. Okay. So we had one shot yesterday. There's an extra ad boiker. It tells us in the pasuk that you have to burn the oil the following day of Yontif. So again, you have Truma oil that's tummy. You can't use it. What do you do with it? You have to burn it. Perhaps I could use it I could burn it on Yontif. No, I can't burn it on Yontif. So now we're holding by Abaya Omar. Abaya says, Baruch Hashem, you see, we surpassed yesterday. We're at 112 people on Zoom. The guys on YouTube want to know, why do I ignore them? I'm not ignoring them, but it's a live share, so I'm talking to the Zoom people. I'm not talking so much to the YouTube people, but I am. Same way that in a regular live share, I talk to the guys in the room, not so much to the Zoom people. Abaya Omar Kro Oilas Shabbos b'Shabbatoi. It says by the Musaf of Shabbos. I could bring a carbon Musaf on Shabbos, but only a carbon Musaf on Shabbos. In other words, if I have a carbon that I shechted on Friday, why did I shech it? Because I had a shechted carbon Friday. Now the leftover pieces, the imurim and everything else, I can't put it on the Mizbeach on Shabbos. It doesn't belong to Shabbos, it belongs to Friday. The only thing I could put on a Mizbeach on Shabbos is a carbon I shechted on Shabbos. What do I learn from this Abaya? Not that Abaya spoke about the sugi, but what could I learn from Abaya? That if this oil has nothing to do with Shabbos, don't burn it on Shabbos. I could burn something on Shabbos and Yontif, that is, Yontif as well. Because Shabbos is Shabbos. Bishabbatoi, the extra word, Bishabbatoi, I'll learn from that Yontif as well. Do not put a carbon that doesn't belong to Yontif on the Mizbeach, and don't burn my oil that doesn't belong here on Yontif. Next. V'loi oilas chol b'Shabbos, v'loi oilas chol b'Yontif. Certainly, if I can't put on a carbon that's kosher, I can't put on a beautiful carbon that I made on Friday, I can't put on the Mizbeach, so certainly I cannot put on oil that's tummy. I see Doron Kornbluth is here. Thank you, Doron, for the beautiful present. He walked over to my house, Erev Shabbos, with the corona flying out in the air. I appreciate it. Yishkoyach, he lifted my spirits. Thank you. Rav Omar. And by the way, we have Simon Cohen here, famous chazan. I don't know if you're ever zeicha to hear our shul makes a beautiful concert at least once a year. They're all over in the Knesset HaGadol. They fly around the world. So Simon Cohen, I think it was last year, I don't know, this year I wasn't there, but last year at least, he has a beautiful voice, and he just joined us from Ranan a few days ago, so welcome Simon Cohen. Another pshat. Why can't I burn this oil on Yontif, this Truma puzzle oil, the Tamei oil? It says in the pasuk regarding Yontif, Hu levadoi. Here, I have it, in case you don't have the words in your Gemara. Hu kol melacha lo yiyasa behem. You can't do any melacha on Yontif. Ach, however, you could. Asher yi'ochel l'chol nefesh. Oichol nefesh. Food. I can make food on Yontif. We know we could cook from this pasuk yi'ochel l'chol nefesh. Hu levadoi yiyasa lachem. Now the point is that the pasuk could have said Asher yi'ochel l'chol nefesh yiyasa lachem. What are these extra words? Hu levadoi. This only. We just said oichol nefesh yiyasa lachem. There's no need for the Torah to say who, this, and levadoi, only. So the Gemara learns from these two words two very important halachas. Who, v'loi machshirin. On Shabbos, you're not permitted to make a knife. You're not permitted to make an oven. You can make food on the oven. You could cut food with the knife, but you can't make a hechsher to the food one step before making it. Levadoi, v'loi mila shaloi bizmano. If a baby couldn't have his bris milah on the 8th day, he was yellow, whatever the reason is, he had corona, somebody had corona, couldn't make milah. So the milah is pushed off. Now it's yontiv, and now you could do milah. You don't do it because it says in the pasuk levadoi. I could cook food, but I cannot make a milah. The asya b'kal v'chomer. Now, before we get into this asya b'kal v'chomer business, but what's the point? If I cannot make a milah, it's already something that is pushed off, and I can push it off to after Yontif. So certainly, I don't have to sit and burn my Truma, puzzle oil now, my Tamei Truma oil. If I can't make a bris milah, so there's no reason for me to be Mechal Yontif and start burning Truma. I can't even make a bris milah. Okay. Thanks, Gary. I see you're messing around with my computer remotely. I appreciate it. So if I can't see anybody on the screen, that means I could go get a glass of water. Fine. So what's this aseh b'kal v'chomer business? Very simple, or not so simple. Here. Look how it goes. It goes in order of chumrah, of how chomer something is. Mila dechuya. That's what we're talking about. A milah that is already pushed off. Milah on the 10th day. is so strong and so chamor that it could push off tzaras. Meaning, if the baby has a tzaras on his bris, I could cut the bris. You can't just cut tzaras, it's an issur deraisa. If a kohen has tzaras on his hand, he can't do avodah. So I'll take a knife, I'll do a surgery, chop it off, let him do avodah. No, you can't do that. But if there's a tzaras on his milah, I go ahead and I cut it. In other words, milah is more chomer, it's top of the list, than tzaras. Step number 2. This is actually the third step, but I'm going in this order just to make it easier to understand. Tzaras is so powerful, it pushes off the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. If there's the only kohen left in the world has a tzaras on him, he cannot perform the avodah. I cannot remove it with the knife, even though that means that today no avodah is going to be performed in the Beis Hamikdash. What does that tell me? That tzaras is stronger than avodah. And avodah is strong enough that it pushes off Shabbos, right? If you have Shabbos Kodesh, I can make a carbon on Shabbos if I have to. So, if avodah could push Shabbos, and tzaras could push off avodah, and milah pushes off tzaras, in other words, on this list, milah is the strongest out of all of them. Milah could push off tzaras, which pushes off avodah, which pushes off Shabbos. So certainly milah could push off Shabbos. I could go directly from step 1 all the way to the last step, because avodah is stronger than Shabbos. So certainly milah is stronger than Shabbos. And I'm not talking about regular milah, I'm talking about milah dechuya. So if I have a pushed off bris milah, which is stronger than should push off Shabbos and Yom Tov. That's why the pasuk comes and says levadoi. No, milah does not push off. It's a beautiful kavachomer you have here. We have a beautiful kavachomer, but it doesn't push off Shabbos. Rav Ashi, another pshat why I cannot burn, as the Mishnah says, emadlikim b'shemen sreifa b'yantiv. I can't burn oil that's truma, that's tamei on yantiv. Why? Rav Ashi Omar Shabbosoin. What was the Gemara's kasha? Let's go back. I forgot to mention again. The Gemara's kasha, as Rashi explained then, is because in fact you have an assay against the lois assay. You have a mitzvah to burn truma oil. I see this guy's a little crooked. Hold on. Yeah, like that. Okay, hold on one second.
Eli, go get yourself some water. We'll wait.
Nah, it's fine. My mouth is, you already could see. I had water this morning. It's not like the first cup, but now during shir, I get all dry. But thank you. It's tircha de tzibur shein kamaya. Tircha times 2,000 people. Not kedai. All right. Says the Gemara. So again, we have a mitzvah's assay to burn oil versus a lois assay of don't make a fire on Yontif. You can make a fire to cook, but you can't just burn stuff if you feel like it.
Eli, the oil is saying, just reach behind you and take some alcohol.
I have some water from the Baal Shem Tov that Dr. Factor gave me. Not recommended to drink, I don't think. It has floating pieces, so I don't know. It might even be the cause of corona. There's a lot of stuff going on here with the alcohol. We're gonna have to get into it. There's another email I got. People are really noticing bottles moving, going in and out. I'm just messing with the oilam. I pour some down the sink, then it comes, it goes. The Jameson is gone. I got it.
Let's have that whiskey after share so we can understand what you're saying.
The litzonas of the oilam, sitting here by myself. Blah, blah. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks, Noam. No, I shouldn't have done that. Let me put my mask on so I don't do that again. Zog the Gemara. So, again, we have an assay against the lois assay, so perhaps the assay should win, and we should be able to burn truma that's tamei on Yontif. Says Rav Ashi, that's a great idea. But there's a reason why not. Rav Ashi Omar Shabbos, and now we're holding the Chofei Aleph. Shabbos and assay, in addition to the mitzvah, the lois assay of not burning on Yontif, there's another word Shabbosin, which is an assay. So now we have 2 against 1. V'havale Yontif assay v'lois assay. We have an assay of Shabbosin and a lois assay of loisava, you shouldn't do malacha on yantiv. Veinasei doiches loisasei ve'asei. Now that's common sense. One asei cannot push off an asei and a lois asei because it's 2 against 1. Fine. Next sugya. B'yantav uda asir. It's not like I didn't get water. I got the water and I put it on the table. It's right over there, but I'm not getting it. B'yantav uda asir. So you're telling me that there's a special isser of burning this truma tmeya oil on yantiv. Halbachol shaper dummy. I'm allowed to benefit from it on a weekday. My time. What is the reason I'm a rav? Kishem shemitzvah lisroiv hakotchim shenitmu kach mitzvah lisroiv es truma. Okay, truma is very similar to kotchim. And Rashi says, first of all, it's similar. Second of all, I don't want you to, by mistake, drink this truma. So, there's a mitzvah to burn it. V'amra Torah, ta'ach mitzvah lisroiv truma shenitmos. V'amra Torah, the Torah says, b'shas bi'uro teheni mimeno. Yet, yes, you have a mitzvah to burn it, but I want you to benefit from it. You're a kohen. If it was tahar, you're allowed to drink it, eat it, cook with it. If it's tameh, make a fire with it, heat up your house, read a book to its light. Hechan Amar Torah, where did the Torah say this, that he's allowed to benefit from it? Midr Rav Nachman, Omer Rav Nachman, Omer Rabbi Baravu, Omer Kro, V'ani hinei nosati l'cha es mishmeres trumoisoi. The pasuk should say, V'ani hinei nosati l'cha es mishmeres truma. I gave you the mitzvah to watch, be careful with it. What's trumoisoi? 2 trumas. Shtei trumas hakosim medaber, achas truma tahira, v'achas truma tmeya. So the truma tahira I gave you to benefit from, and I also gave you the truma tmeya to benefit from. It should be for you. Light a fire with it. That's one shot. All right. We'll start it and then I'll say about peh. It says in the pasuk that when you bring Meiser Sheni we do on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd year. On the 1st, 2nd, and 4th and 5th year. Meiser Sheni. But we have a mitzvah on the 4th year to be mevar everything, on the 7th year to be mevar everything, to destroy it. Make sure when, last day of Pesach, coming up. So there's a vidui that you say. And you say in the vidui, Veloi bi arti mimenu b'tamei. I am not tamei, and the food is not tamei. What is this talking about? Meiser Sheni. So now we have a category called Meiser Sheni, and it says you cannot benefit, not like in our sugya, which we are talking about Truma. Meiser Sheni, no, you cannot burn it and have an off from it. V'loi bi arti mimenu b'tamei. I didn't benefit from it when I was tamei, or when the Meiser Sheni itself was tamei. So from this, the Gemara infers, Dafka Meiser Sheni I can't have anah from, but I could have anah from Truma when I burn it. But there's a 3rd category called Kachim. I have oil that I bring together with my mincha. And that also I cannot benefit from. So the question is in the Gemara, why do I choose Truma over Kachim? So the Gemara tries to say, because Kachim is too chamer. It has, here, let's see inside. I know that Noam loves the sugya because he knows the outcome every time. Kachim has 6 things that are very chomer about it. And Truma has 4. Oh, but Truma has 4. But 4 is less than 6. That's the whole sugya. The question is, which one of these 2 do I learn from Meiser Sheni? Meiser Sheni, I cannot benefit when I am burning it. But I can infer from that Truma, yes, that's our sugya. Truma, I could benefit. However, Kachim, not. Why? Kachim is very chomer. It has 6 things that are special about it. Let's see inside. Perhaps. Perhaps the diuk should be, I cannot use Meiser Sheni when I burn it. I can't light my fire. I can't heat up my house with Meiser Sheni. Great. But kachim, if I bring a carbon, that a mincha that requires oil. Oh, I'm happy to see that David was able to get on. Little Ben Ish Chai is on there, Givaldik. He wasn't able to get on yesterday, his mother complained. And Judah David is also on, 2 Davids, Givaldik. But not kachim. Maybe kachim, I should make a diuk that I should be able to burn kachim and benefit from the oil even though they are tamei. Says the Gemara, wait a minute, no, lav kavachomer, I have a kavachomer. Ma meiser akal, this, meiser sheni is very, it's meiser sheni, everybody could eat meiser sheni. Every Yisrael could take the meiser sheni, bring it to Yerushalayim and eat it. You don't have to be a kohen, so it's kal. Ma meiser akal omra toira, loy biyarti mimenu b'tamei. I'm not allowed to benefit from this kal. Kodesh chomer lekolshkin? Certainly kachim. What's the Gemara's next question? So then certainly Truma also. Why is Truma not a kavachomer for meiser? Truma is much more chomer. Only a kohen could eat Truma. Yachi, Truma nami le kavachomer. Says the Gemara, you're right. There should be a kavachomer. But what should I do with the word mimenu? Haksiv mimenu. Mimenu, we infer is a diuk that one of these two you should be able to eat and not eat, benefit from. Haksiv mimenu. Umari Isa. So now anytime the Gemara says this word Umari Isa, you know what's happening. You know that the Gemara is going to say, why choose one over the other? And every single time the Gemara says, because this has 5 and this has 4, or this has 6 and this has 5, all over Shas many times. And the Gemara says, so what? And the Gemara says, oh, 6 is more than 5. Says the Gemara, Umar Isa, why did you choose Truma over Kachim? Says the Gemara, it makes sense to me that not to make a diuk on Kodesh. Kodesh is the most chomer. Shekain simin, pancakes. Pancakes! Makes you hungry. What's pancakes? So you look over here, it's very interesting. It's the first letter of every word, besides the mem and the samach. Because otherwise it wouldn't be pancakes. It would be panks mecha. So the Gemara took the ayin of me'ilah and made it a ayin, and the samach of the asr is asr. What are these things? Very simple. What's the pancakes? You can remember this. It's a good simon. Pancakes daf chafei. Pigul, if a kohen thinks in his head while he's doing one of the 4 avodas, shchita, kabbalah, ilach, and zrika, he thinks in his mind he's going to eat this carbon. Instead of within 24 hours like most karbanos, he's going to think he's eating it in 2 weeks from now. He's going to put it in the freezer and use it on Pesach. And then he actually eats it on Pesach. He's chayiv kares. Pigul. Noisar, if you leave over a carbon, past this is a lot of time, you're only allowed to eat this carbon a day or 2 days, whatever the type of carbon is, never more than 2 days, and you leave it over in your freezer, pigul. Noisar. Now, Truma doesn't have this. And Truma doesn't have pigul. Carbon, this is the most interesting one. It's called a carbon. Okay, go figure that one out. It's called a carbon. That doesn't show me a chumrah. Maybe it does. Maybe it's a sacrifice. I don't know. Explain it to me. Mi'ilah, you only have mi'ilah on kachim. You don't have mi'ilah on truma. In other words, if I use something from the Beis Hamikdash without permission, by mistake, I bring a carbon. I have to add a 5th. Not by mistake. Terrible. Vikares. And kachim has kares, where truma has misvadei shemayim. What's kares? Says Rashi, you die before your time, and you don't have children, or the children die. Taisus says, kares means you die before the age of 60. In other words, Rashi will hold that a person who's 102 years old and gets corona, that's kares. Because that woman in Williamsburg, she was 102 and she got corona. She wasn't supposed to die at 102 and 3 months. She's supposed to die at 103, let's say. So that's kares. She died before her time, not in that specific case, chas v'shalom. I'm just saying that example, according to Rashi. According to Taisvas, it must be that a person dies before 60. According to Yerushalmi, before 50. Fine. Now, According to Rashi, Misa b'dei Shemayim is when a person dies before their time, whenever that time is. That's Misa b'dei Shemayim. Says the Gemara, what else? Asur la'aynan. The first day when a person has a loss, so they cannot eat kachim. But there's no isser to eat truma. Says the Gemara, Adarabba, the exact opposite. Truma has machpaz, misa choimesh pidyon zarim. What's that? Misa. So, Rashi says, misa means that if a non-kohen eats it, he gets misa b'dei shemayim. And if a kohen is tummy. Now, before, when do you get kares? If somebody eats bituma. So Taisus asks, wait a minute, before we said kares is more chomer than misa, and now we're saying misa is more chomer than kares, that you can't jump on both chasanas. So, you can't dance on both chasanas. So, that's why Taisus says it's only referring to when a Yisrael eats Truma, he gets Misa. He gets Misa, but we're not talking about a Kohen who's Tameh. Because that's already Kares and not Kares. That the Gemara said before, Kares is more Chomer than Misa. Chaimesh. If you eat Truma, you have to pay back the Kohen a fifth. In addition to the principal, you pay back a fifth. Ve'in lo pidyon. And Truma cannot be redeemed. Kachim could be redeemed. Certain kachim, if you designate an animal for a karban, and then the animal befalls a mum, it gets a mum, his leg pulled out of its socket, whatever it is, you can redeem that animal, but you can't redeem truma. Va'asur lezarim. There's somebody at the door? Yeshua. No way. Can't believe it. Yeshua drove from Gimel. My water's on the table. If you're already giving me water, to get me water, Hashem Yirachem. He knows the code to my house. He just came in. Here, come say hello to the Olam. Stay away from me, but say, come here. You got to come here. Come into the screen. Look into the camera. Look into the camera. This one, both cameras. Say Shalom Aleichem. Okay.
Good morning.
All right. Yishkoyach of Yeshua. I'm going to take this with Yeshua. Might have corona.
Yeshua, I'm down the block. Can I get a coffee?
Avi wants a coffee. I think there's a hefsek between the two. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'akol niyeh b'dvaroi. Kimayim korim al nefesh hayefa. It hit the right spot. Yishkoyach Rabbi Yeshua. Beautiful. Unbelievable. His dedication is English shire. Ve'ein lo pidyon. Ve'ein lo pidyon. V'asur lezarim. Asur lezarim, obviously. Truma is never mutter to a Yisrael, whereas we have karbanos that are mutter to Yisrael. You have shlamim, you have all the kachim kalim that are mutter to Yisrael. Says the Gemara, the obvious answer. Look, Truma should be very chomer because it has 4 things, and kachim should be very chomer because it has 6 things. What wins? Kachim. Although, me personally, I don't understand carbon so well, so carbon is kind of weak in my opinion. But it's still 6. So even if you take out carbon, you have 5 against 4. But nobody even talks about carbon. So I don't know. I must have not understood it 100%. V'bayseima kodesh chamor shekein anush kares. Kachim has the chumrah of kares when a kohen, if the kohen is tamei and he eats truma, it's misa b'dei shemayim, versus if the kohen is tamei and he eats kachim, it's kares. Kares is really bad. It affects the children, and according to Taisus especially in the Yerushalmi, it's an earlier age. It's 50, 60. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Omar Kro Titein Loi. How do I know? Going back, how do I know that I could benefit from my oil, my truma oil that I'm burning? How do I know I could benefit from it? Omar Kro Titein Loi. What does the Torah say? Give the kohen truma when the truma is tahar. Give it to him. Loi means for his benefit. Loi. V'loi la'oiroi. Don't give him something that he's going to burn. Give him something he could consume, he could eat. Don't give him an inferior product. Don't be cheap. Don't give him your truma tmeya, your garbage you can't use. Give him something he could benefit from, he could eat. Loi for him, v'loi la'oiroi. Incredibly, the Gemara says, so I can infer from it, I can make a diuk. Michlal de bas oirihu. There are other things called truma tmeya, which I do give to the kohen, and he does benefit from it. If you want to be Hasidish and make like a diuk in the words, so the word loy, lamed vav, could come to infer, to make a diuk, loy v'loy le'oiroi. Le'oiroi, the Gemara, lamed and vav. It starts with a lamed, ends with a vav, le'oiroi. It should be for him and not for, but v'loy loy, whatever. Too Hasidish. Michlal, the bas oirohu, fine. So the Gemara, you hear this diuk. Give him something that he could eat and not use as fire. But if it's something that's fire, give it to him so he could benefit from the fire. If it's something that's tummy. Rishma loimer. So we learned in the Mishnah that kerosene, itron, shouldn't use itron. It smells too bad. So our Akiva, 12-year-old that comes every single day, he sent me a message yesterday. He wanted to know what the machlokes is. So let's see if we have some sort of pshat for him. My taima. So what if it smells? Omar Rava mitoich shereicho ra gzeiro shemo yanicheno v'yetze. We're concerned. It smells so bad. The person's going to pick himself up and run outside. Omar le'abaye v'yetze. So let him run. Let him go wherever he wants. What's the big deal? Rashi says, "Ma'ichpaslan, machpatli." They say in Hebrew, "Ma'ichpatli." Gzeir Hashem yinechem. Omar le'abaye v'yetze. Omar le'shani oimer hadlokas ner Shabbos chayva. Lighting your candles on Shabbos is a mitzvah. In other words, there's a mitzvah that you should have candles. There should be peace. That you should enjoy Shabbos. What do we see? We see, as the Gemara says in Masechtas Yuma, that the Rashi brings it down. She'in suudo chashuva ella b'makom or. You want to enjoy your food, you have to see your food. Like they do in America in the fancy restaurants. They dim all the lights and they give you a little candle. You want to enjoy your food, you got to see it, like in daylight. Or, Tosfos points out another thing, that it just gives you more simcha, more enjoyment, more peace on Shabbos. So therefore, the light of the candle is a chayva. We don't want you walking away from that light, from that enjoyment, from that benefit. You're going to eat your meal in the dark. You're not enjoying your meal, according to Abaya in Yuma. It's Abaya in Yuma that says it, and over here Rav is the one answering Abaya. It says that you don't remember your pshat. You're the one in Yuma that says that you need light for eating, to benefit, to really enjoy your meal. They say in the name of Rav. Had lokas ner Shabbos, yes, Yeshua. What's that?
119 on Zoom.
I see. I have it right in front of me.
He told me to tell you 119.
Yeshua came back to tell me that we have 119 people on Zoom. I have no idea how many people on YouTube because it's not facing me. But anyways, it's probably not too many because most of the people, Baruch Hashem, are in Zoom and they feel the participation a lot more. You know what I'm missing? I'm missing David from California. I know he's watching us on YouTube. He watches us live. But he's nechbal akelim. He's hiding. He's not gonna go on Zoom. It's not his type. Omer Rav, adlokas ner Shabbos chayva. What does chayva mean? In this case, chayva means that it's a mitzvah. Because sometimes we use the word as chayva, like ma'im achronim chayva. But you don't make a bracha on ma'im achronim. Over here, it's a mitzvah that we make a bracha al adlokas ner Shabbos. Rechitzas yudayim v'raglayim b'chamin, and to take a bath, erev Shabbos, arvas, rishus. You know, that's the argument between the children and their mother. The mother says it's a chayv, the child says rishus. You know, that sort of thing. The old Talmid Chacham, they know this Gemara. So to take a shower before Shabbos not obligatory. V'ani oimer. But Rav says, mitzvah. It is a chayv. It's a mitzvah. You have to do it. My mitzvah. This is interesting. Like, my mitzvah, I thought the Gemara is going to bring a pasuk. The Gemara brings a maisa. Domer Rav Yehuda Omer Rav, kachoya minogi shel Rabbi Yehuda bar Ilai. This was the minig of Rabbi Yehuda bar Ilai. Erev Shabbos mivim lo yarevim lo yechamim. They would bring him a bath of hot water, v'roichetz panav yadav raglav, and he washed his face, hands, and feet. Umisatei v'yoshev bizdinim amitzuyotzim. He would wrap himself with the talis and put on tzitzis with chelas. V'doime lemalach Hashem tzevakos. Unbelievable. He would be fresh right out of a bath, wear his special Big Day Shabbos, and he would be similar to a Malach Elokim. Malach Hashem Tzvakos. But his Talmidim didn't want him to realize that they don't have tzitzis on their clothing, as the Gemara will explain why. So they would hide, they would tuck their tzitzis into their pants like some people do. You're not supposed to do it, says the Mishnah. You're supposed to show off your tzitzis. Even to the goyim, you're supposed to have your tzitzis on the outside. Now became a whole trend, even by the really modernish chevra. Like this guy just wrote me an email that he's a modernish guy from, I don't know, I have to read it later. He wanted to know if I'm the same hashkafa as him. Yes, we're all the same. Please. Today, the guys with the big payas are modernim, and the modernim are chasidim. V'chulu, dailach hakim v'remiza. All these guys running around giving everybody corona are not chasidim, and they're not litvaks, they're not charedim. I don't know what they are. They're not even modernim. They're not even echveis nishvas. V'doimer lemalach Hashem tzvakos. V'ayu talmidov mechavim mimeno kam v'ksuson. Omer lehem bonai. Loikach shenisi lochem. What's going on with you guys? What are you doing with your tzitzis? Sodin b'tzitzis, linen, should have tzitzis. Beit Shammai poitrim, Beit Shammai say they should not have tzitzis. Ubeisil mechayvin. Okay, so this is the famous machloek between Bisham and Yisrael, because the tchelas for sure is on tzemer, and if you're going to put your blue tzitzis, your blue tchelas tzitzis together with your linen clothing, what do you got? You have shatnez. So Beit Shammai say do not do shatnez on your tzitzis. They don't learn smuchim because the parsha shatnez is right next to tzitzis. They don't do that. They say you could wear shatnez, not a problem. The halacha is that you do shatnez on your tzitzis. So what is your problem? Why are you Talmidim not wearing tzitzis? I see what you're doing here. I noticed that you're not wearing tzitzis. So what are you doing? You're hiding your tzitzis. You think I don't chap? I chap that you're not wearing tzitzis now. We have to understand why. Vinu Sari says the Gemara Gzeiro Mishum Ktsus Laila. They held that they were concerned that they might go to sleep in it, they might wear it during the night. Now at night you're not chayiv in tzitzis, and now all of a sudden you're wearing shatnez. Now you're not allowed to wear shatnez. So let me ask you a question. You're wearing a clothing, a garment that's chayiv in tzitzis midoraisa, and you're not going to wear tzitzis because you're worried that you might forget to wear, that it's night and you might wear shatnez. So you're allowed to do that because you might forget. So therefore, right now you're wearing a beged that's chayiv and tzitzis deraisa. You're going to be oiker a deraisa because you're scared. How are you allowed to do that? Says Rashi. That's the Gemara's question in Yavamas, and he says, "V'chi bezdin masn lako dover men ator lifter sachayev." How could bezdin make it a kana that you shouldn't do something that the Torah says you should do? Umishani shev val taisa shani. Unbelievable. The Gemara says over there, he's not doing something, he's just not doing something. He's not putting on his tzitzis, but he's wearing the beged. Ayin sham. Now a little bit of agadta. It's already 8 o'clock, so we'll... Okay. Vatiznach mishaloim nafshi. Vatiznach. Haznacha. Let go. I don't have shalom. I don't have peace. My nefesh, my soul is not in peace. Noshisi toiva. I forgot about the good. I mean, we could relate to this pasuk somewhat today. We used to have it good. We used to have good times. Now Yirmiyah says, I don't have it good. I don't have it good. What does he mean? No peace. I can't even light a candle on Shabbos. I don't have peace because candle, the light brings peace. Noshisi toiva. I don't even have a bath. Imagine if they were in quarantine, so they wouldn't have these necessities that we have today. They can't get out. They can't go to the Beis HaMerchatz. They can't get a candle. This is hot water, a bath. He didn't have a nice bed. He didn't have a nice linen. This is a made bed. This is a good woman. A woman who is good to her husband. That's what he didn't have. He didn't have shalom. He didn't have peace. You don't have a good wife, you don't have peace. Torah Rabbanon, Ezu Asher. Who's considered wealthy? A person who is satisfied with what he has. Divrei Rebbe Meir. Simon Matkas. Oh, Matkas. On the beach, you play Matkas. So the mem stands for Rebbe Meir, the tes is Rebbe Tarfon, the kuf is Rebbe Akiva, it's the second letter again, and Rebbe Yosi, the third letter. The Maharsha says that these these shitas over here, are referring to why do people accumulate wealth? Reason number one is to show off to the friends. Look, I'm wealthy. Reason number two is to provide for your wife. And reason number three is that a person should have for his pension, for when he's ill. So these are the three reasons given here. Rebbe Tarfon Omer, Kol Sheyeshloi, what's considered a wealthy person? Kol Sheyeshloi, Mea Kramim, Umea Sodos, Umea Avadim, Shoivdim B'hem. He has 100 vineyards, 100 fields, 100 slaves, a total of 300. Once again, a Lashon Guzma sort of, but it means a person has unlimited amount of stuff and he keeps on chasing money, keeps on chasing his real estate, keeps on chasing his slaves. That's a person who's wants to be wealthy. Fine, but that's a person who needs wealth to show off to other people. That's a wealthy person. Rebbe Kiva Omer, Kol sheyesh lo isha noah b'ma'asim. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If your wife is spending on the credit card, it's no good. But if she's a good wife, then you have everything. That's a wealthy person. What good is it if your wife is spending all your money anyways? If you have a good wife, she doesn't spend, then that's considered a wealthy person. We have no idea what this means. In those days, they had to go. Imagine if you have a stomach ache at 3 a.m, you have to get your clothes on, run outside, go a couple hundred feet, find it, light, disgusting. So if you have a bathroom by your table, not literally by your table, the Duba Magna uses this Gemara as a mashal, like the people, whatever, lo mishaneh, because we're late now. But according to this third pshat of the Maharsha, if you have good hygiene, you're careful, then you'll avoid sickness. This will help you avoid sickness by having a good bathroom. Rabbi Isai, we should hear B'suras Tovas. Hopefully tomorrow we'll start off in better moods. And let's say a kapitel tehillim now for all the sick people and for the neshama that need an aliyah. Shir hamalos mimamakim kosicha Adonai Adonai shemo bekorli tiena oznecha kashuvois lekoi tachanunoi im avoinois tishmor yo Adonai miyamoid ki imcho aslicha leman tivorei ki visi Adonai kivso nafshi v'ledvoroi yecholti nafshi l'Adonai mishomrim laboiker shomrim laboiker Yache Yisrael el Adonai ki Adonai hachesed v'arbei imo yifedos V'hu yivdes Yisrael mikol avonosav. One more Rabbi Isai for Avi Mandelbaum's uncle, and for all the Cholim, special one, Kuf Chof Aleph, Shir Lamalois, Esoi Nai El Horim, Mayin Yovo Yezri. Ezri Me'im Adonai, Oisei Shomayim V'oretz. Al Yitein Lamoid Raglecha, Yonum Shemrecha. הנה לא ינום ולא יישון שומר ישראל. אדינוי שומרך, אדינוי צלחו על יד ימינך. יום השמש לא יככו ויורח בלילה. אדינוי ישמורכו מקורו ישמורס נפשך. אדינוי ישמור צאצכו ויכו מעתה ויד אלוהים. אחינו כל בית ישראל, הנשואים בצורו ובשביו, העומדים בין ביום ובין ביבשה, המוקרים ירחם עליהם ויוציא